Don't wear your best of your clothing until you've done this one thing. In the past 2 years, I went from wearing my worst clothing to wearing the best of my clothing, due to this one reason that I got from analyzing 30 months of data. So, before we get into this, I have to tell you that I'm going to explain it to you in 3 ways. The first one, I'm going to tell you what are the stories that I learned from. Second, I'm going to give you all of the lessons that I learned from the data and also from the best people that I know. Then I'm going to give you a secret of mine. The first thing I'm going to start with is that 3 years ago, actually, I had this girlfriend in high school who was a fashionista. She was a fashion designer. That's all what she did. That was her thing, okay? That was her dream. That was her passion. And I found it very interesting. I was like, okay, this is important. It's like, teach me more about that. And she's like, look, the colors that you wear are not actually very matching with you. I'm like, dude, what do you mean? Like, I respect a lot of rules in my coloring. She's like, look, you shouldn't do this. And I knew some rules, like my middle brother always screams at me that you shouldn't wear more than 3 colors. The best is 1 to 2 colors. The craziest you can wear is 3 colors. But I just didn't, sometimes we men, we don't do that. We just do whatever we want. And they're like, you know what, I'm a man. Nobody can criticize me. She was like, look, just listen to me. And she was explaining to me all of this fashion stuff, okay? And I understood what she says. And I think the most important thing is actually coloring. You just wear 1 to 2 colors, maximum 3. And not only 3 colors, but they must be matching one way or another. That's why you see a lot of athletes or even actresses and actors and everyone, right? They wear only 2 colors, like black and white, yellow and green or something like that. And the colors has to be matching. So whether are all neutrals or they're contrasting. So it's like black and white, yellow and blue or something like that. So I learned that and was like, okay, this makes all the sense in the world. I get it. But also sometimes I don't have the greatest of colors until actually I've found this secret thing. I just found it recently in the past month. About 2 to 3 weeks ago, I found that there's a prompt that you can put into ChatGPT. This is called the Natural Skin Color Test, which is done by $200 in China. You can do it, just spend $200, they will give it to you. They'll clean your face, do other stuff, but mainly it's for the skin color test. I was like, okay, cool, I'm all in. Like, give me, what do I have to do? So basically you take a picture of you, whatever it is, with natural colors, so no crazy colors, no crazy lighting. So natural lighting, take that picture. Get 4 colors that you need, and you need the HESC color, which is if you're using Photoshop or Canva, whatever it is, you get hashtag, and then there's 6-digit color. So it's not only like, let's say it's light beige or, white or yellow or I don't know. You say, this is the HESC color, so it's more accurate. So you have to get three colors. The first one is the lightest color in your skin, so it's in your face. The darkest color in your skin, in your face. Then you get your eye color and your natural hair color. I was like, dude, this is not men. This is not manly, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this and let's see what happens. All right, I have nothing to lose, let's do this. And I done this, bro. And I put the prompt, you can look it up. I put the prompt, I put all the data, and ChatGPT was like, I told him, give me all the data, give me all the analysis, and give me the decision and tell me why. I was like, you know what, you're actually colors, it seems like you are dark autumn. It's like, oh, okay. I have no clue what that means. And he was explaining to me about how everybody has different colors in their skin, which actually makes the clothing are different from people to people. It's like, dude, what do you mean by this? I'm actually intrigued. I see all of the famous people. Tristan Tate making all of the suits, bro. And I just copy a lot of people. I see suit. I'm like, okay, that's a good one, let's wear the same. But no, you shouldn't do that. And that's what ChatGPT was trying to explain to me. And he was giving me actual data, which changed my mind. He was saying that everybody has a different skin color, and that's why sometimes there's the same clothing, 2 people wear it, it does not look great on both of them. One of them looks awesome, one of them looks awful, dude. Right? And everyone has tried it. You have tried it yourself. I tried it all the time. And I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more. He was like, so there's colors that are matching with other colors. So this is an entire study. It looks like an entire industry, and that's why it costs $200. And he says, like, there's people that are their best colors are neutral colors, right? So there's dark autumn as an example. You have to wear neutral colors or earth colors or dark winter. It's like the dark winter colors. Those are the colors that works great with your skin. I was like, that's awesome, because I know how to design. I know everything about Photoshop. I know everything about infographic, but this is with clothing, with how you look. And look, before you say that this is something that you shouldn't do, I'm going to tell you something that will absolutely change your mind. Before I'm going to complete this sentence, which is it will give you a further analysis of all the colors that you can wear and also the colors that you shouldn't wear. So sometimes, not because some guy wore white suit or black suit and it was awesome on him, it means that it will look awesome on you. And the same goes with whatever, okay? And the reason why I think this is very important, because of the data that it is about how you look. So there is this quote from Alex Hormozi. He just said it. He said, the best salespeople in the world are hot women who can deal with rejection. Okay, cool. Can you be a hot woman? Of course, if you're a woman, you can. And can you deal with rejection? Of course you can. So if you're a man, you can't be a hot woman, okay? So you can be hot man. You can be a good looking man that obviously you have to deal with rejection. That doesn't change. I was like, okay, this is awesome, cool. Give me more to this. That you're not convinced. One of the best books of all time about success and all of that is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's an awesome book. One of the most important chapters in the book, it's the last chapter about fears. He talks about everybody has fears, and this is the most number one limiting factor that people limit them from becoming what they want. And I was like, okay, this is good. And he was talking about there's multiple fears, and the number one of them is fear of poverty. I was like, okay, this is cool. Tell me more about that. He was speaking about the symptoms of poverty or the fear of poverty. He was saying that one of them is not taking care of yourself and not taking care of how people see you, aka not taking care of how you look, so how you present yourself, the clothing, etc. I was like, this is insane, dude. Like, I've been through a period where I was not wearing the best of my clothing simply because a man cannot be criticized by anything except for his pocket. That's what I thought. So I was always working on that. But now you're telling me there's another thing. I was like, dude, what it is? Look, if you're not convinced, I know you are. I'm going to give you another thing. The data has shown, I think it's done by Stanford or Oxford. They did an analysis of salesmen. They got like 1,000 people. So half of them are attractive, half of them are not attractive from all different things. They have all the same level, the same thing, the same everything. And they did the analysis and they found out that being attractive will make you a better salesman if you're a man by 15%, sometimes to 30%. Women by 25%, at least 25% off the bat. So this is insane difference just by taking care of how you look, which is something that my mother was always telling me, right? My mother is my life mentor. My older brother, who's my business mentor, he was always telling me this. It's like, there's this thing. And actually, he was not teaching me a lot. He was leading by example. So it's like, okay, so there's this thing. But I still was not convinced, okay? So I'm going to give you even another reason for that. You see, all of the people that you respect, they apply this rule. You see, Donald Trump has this rule in his house, and even with his butler, so his employees, he says there is an interdiction. You cannot wear a goofy clothing around him or in his house. You have to wear good clothing. And this is a rule that he had from very early on. And he's one of the most powerful men in the world, okay? If that's not enough, Elon Musk has the same thing. And if you doubt that, Elon Musk's mother was a model, okay? And the same thing goes with Donald Trump's wife is a model. Even Elon Musk had wives that were model, actresses, stuff like that, which shows you a lot about the psychology and how they actually really value how other people look and how they look themselves. So if you are a man or a woman and you do care about your business side, you're achieving what you want, it might always be to dealing with other people, convincing them, doing the business deals, doing stuff like that. So wearing good stuff or formal clothing will always give you an advantage. And take it from me, in my college, in my first year in nursing college year, I had this situation happening to me. It was insane situation, very rare. So I went to the director, but at that day I was not wearing formal clothing. I really regret that. I went to the director. I was using, my convincing techniques, but I couldn't convince him. And I lost 1 year. I got suspended for 1 year just because of that day. But the point is, I'm pretty sure that if you wear good clothing, you will be able to convince way more. Okay, and that 15% would help me to not lose 1 year. And the cost of it costed me 1 year, and more than that, when I was crying, when I was really suffering, my mother was suffering, my family was suffering because of what happened, nobody was with me. So if you think that people will think such and such, just ignore them and look. Sometimes, probably any time of the week, you will get that situation. If you work good, it will just increase your chances. And if this is not enough for you, I'm going to give you one final thing that will just destroy everything. So as a content creator, I uploaded hundreds of videos throughout the 8 years that I was making videos online. And I have a database that looks at that. And I found that the videos do good when I look good. And the videos do good means people watch them, means the psychology, this is a reflection of people's psychology and what they actually think. Most importantly than that, I analyzed myself for 13 months, tracking 18 metrics. One of them is how I looked. I found that the best version of myself, which means the closest version of myself in 30 months that was the closest to the best version of myself, was actually the one that is looking good. It means brushing my hair, wearing good clothing, doing all of the activities that you respect yourself. So then it was a no-brainer for me to actually take care of myself. Now it's awesome. Now you understand why you should do it. I gave you all the reasons. There is no reason why you should not do it. Now I'm going to explain to you how you should do it. The first thing that you should do, you should obviously do what I told you at the beginning. You should know what is your natural hair, your natural skin color. And most importantly, you have to understand that really if you just follow that, you will be good. Like you're fine, okay? The other thing is the psychological effect. So one of the things that was always holding me down from wearing good clothing and stuff like that is that I said that people will think I'm rich while I'm not, I'm poor, okay? And it was like, if I am poor and I wear good clothing, people will think that I am not poor. So people will think that I'm bigger than I am, and it's not good. You know what I mean? So the way that I went over this, okay, and I got over it is this. I realized that if I want to become the one that I want to become, I have to make reasonable decisions. Reasonable decisions means looking at the data and make decisions objectively, not subjectively. So sure, people think whatever they are, but guess what? If you lose a year like I lost a year, you don't give a fuck about what other people think because they don't give a fuck about you either. Okay, so you just lose and yeah, that's it. So if you wear good clothing, that means the entire thing will change. Now you're putting yourself up for success. And hey, if you don't even think that way, is that even the greatest books of all time that talks about psychology, which is the Sun Tzu Art of War. In the Art of War, there is this famous line which says, probably it's the best line in the book, which says, the war is won before it even begins. Period. So you win a war before you even begin it, and you will lose a war before you even begin it. So it depends on what you want, okay? You want to win a war, then you probably should win before you get in, which is how you set up yourself in a way that it's hard for you to lose. And by the way, one of them is you wear good clothing, respectful, you have no clue. And this is one thing that my brother actually taught me, who's my business mentor. We were sitting and he was explaining to me, he said, look, you have to get used to making fast decisions. You seem hesitant. He says, there is one day that will come and you will sit at a table like this. There is two people in front of you and they will present to you a shop like a dream shop. And they will tell you, you have to answer now, but the shop is in another city. And you have to make that decision fast. So you don't wait until that time and you make the decision. You have to get used to it now that you don't have all of the pressure and it's not big decisions. You have to make all the decision fast so you build that habit. When something like that happens, you're ready. And the same thing goes with clothing, because if you are ready, so as an example, I'm going to class, I found a job opportunity, or there is a customer, or whatever it may be, because opportunities happens and usually you have 30 seconds to decide, okay? And that would set you up, because if you want to achieve something, okay, it usually means that doing something that others are unable or afraid to do, okay? So they won't or can't do. That's it. In those situations, you already have the advantage because you're ready. You're wearing formal clothing. It doesn't have to be suit, but just formal clothing. Nothing goofy, nothing crazy, nothing, no that streetwear bullshit. Just delete that. You are presentable. When you go there, he's like, this guy goes into places. He knows what he's doing. He's wearing good clothing. The first impression will be good. So probably at least you can get a few minutes, right? Those 7 minutes. They say 7 minutes is all that matters. 7 minutes, you present yourself, present what you think, present all of who you are. You probably can get that thing and you close the sale. And it's all about, are you ready for that? And most people are not, and that's why most people don't get to the stuff that you want. And the reason why you want to get to that thing is because not everyone can get to it. So you might as well be fine with being the exception. If you want to be the exceptional, if you want to make something exceptional, okay? You want to be exceptional in something or some way, or you want to be just an exceptional human being or a man or whatever, you have to be fine with being the exception. It's by definition that what it means, okay? So wearing good clothing, being actually respectful of yourself, of others, and you are already ready. You're always scouting for the next opportunity. That will set you up for winning, at least better than not wearing good clothing. And you're like, you know what? I wanted to go to him, but I was wearing this goofy clothing that really just held me down. So I didn't go to him in a last job interview or job or sales or whatever that is. So you don't want to be in there, okay? One of the things that also I'm going to add here is, which is the final point about data, is content creation actually says a lot about it. And I'm not going to give you my data right now because I told you what it is. I'm going to give you your data. Think about it. Who are the content creators or movie or whatever, anyone that you follow and respect? And look at how he looks. He looks awesome. All of them that you follow looks awesome. Why? Because that's something that we have psychologically as humans. We follow the versions that we want to become like. It's by default, okay? You want to look for someone that he at least feels like he knows what he's doing. Wearing formal clothing, whatever, something respectful. At least you're like, this guy knows something, he's respectful, he respects himself. I want to be like him. And this is more of a deep psychology effect of which, look, you just see it yourself. You don't follow the people that look horrible. If you do that for 2 months and then you unfollow them. And why? Just because they didn't look good. And you've seen this time and time and time again, and the reality proof is all the time, like Instagram, whatever. A lot of people just go viral just because of their looks. They don't have incredible content or anything. And you've seen a lot of viral videos on TikTok, on Instagram, on Shorts, whatever. A lot of videos go viral just because of how they look. I'm going to add just one thing, okay? One thing that actually changed everything, which is a secret that I found. I was tracking Cristiano Ronaldo for a period of mine. I said, why this guy has the biggest followers on Instagram? Like, is he doing something special? Probably not. Like, everyone is uploading. He's not uploading some crazy amount of pictures every day. He's uploading daily to, 2 times, 3 times a week, sometimes 7 times a week, but usually like he's daily to every other day, every 3 days, something like that. So no crazy commitment, no crazy consistency, but still he uploads the pictures, and it was like, okay, maybe it's something about the pictures. All of the pictures have similar stuff, which is they're positive. They give some good, like they give good energy. You feel like this guy is living the dream life that you want. And not only that, he looks good at every picture. And I was like, you know what? He has billions of dollars, so of course he will. I went down, I scrolled down until his pictures in 2014. They looked awesome. He was not the Cristiano Ronaldo, he's not the most followed account on the internet, but he looked awesome. And I was like, this is something, right? Because look, there's a lot of great players out there, but they don't all of them have this massive following. So looks obviously gives you an advantage than other, because just looks because we have this psychological effect that when we see someone who looks good, one, it's easy to socialize with him. You know, he talks and you know that he will be comfortable. He'll give you good energy and stuff like that. Two, he respects himself, so by consequence, you respect him as well. And three, it feels like he knows what he's doing. It's the comfort feeling that he gives you. And the thing is that not necessarily you need someone to wear good clothing so you have that comfort feeling. If you wear good clothing, you feel comfortable. So as an example, you have a presentation in class or in work. You wear good clothing, you come in, you're coming clutch, brother, even if you don't prepare. But if you're not wearing good clothing and you're kind of self-aware about how your hair is going 5 ways in the same time and there is one zip that is just not zipping in here, you know, and you're just self-aware about those things. I even talked about it with my therapist. I went to her and was like, there's this thing that I was doing, but I found that I was self-aware, so it's like self-consciousness. She was like, it's awesome that you stopped it. I was like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. If a therapist said it, probably you should do it too. I gave you all the reasons as I promised. Now, wearing clothes looks like a no-brainer. So look, right now, get that thing going. Subscribe.